If you're an Australian senior, the next 60 seconds could change how you view your retirement finances. The government has just confirmed significant changes to the age pension that take effect this September, and thousands of retirees are about to see more money in their accounts. But here's what most people don't know. While some seniors will receive substantial increases, others might actually see their payments adjusted downward. The difference comes down to understanding three critical changes happening right now. Stay with me, because by the end of this video, you'll know exactly where you stand and what actions you need to take today to maximize your pension entitlement. Welcome to my channel. I'm here to break down the complex world of retirement finances into clear, actionable information that you can use right away. Today, we're tackling one of the most important announcements for Australian seniors in years. The 2025 pension changes represent a turning point for millions of retirees across the country. These aren't minor tweaks to the system. These are substantial modifications that will directly impact your fortnightly income, your eligibility status, and potentially your entire retirement budget. Whether you're already receiving the age pension, planning to apply soon, or helping a loved one navigate their retirement finances, this information is absolutely essential. We're going to walk through exactly what's changing, when these changes take effect, who will benefit most, and most importantly, what you need to do to ensure you're receiving every dollar you're entitled to. Let's dive straight into the details that matter most to your financial future. The Australian government has announced a comprehensive update to the age pension system effective from September 20th, 2025. This represents the most significant adjustment in several years, and it comes at a crucial time when cost of living pressures continue to challenge seniors across the nation. These changes affect not only current pensioners, but also those approaching retirement age and anyone planning their financial future. Understanding the September 2025 pension boost requires looking at three interconnected elements: the pension rate increases, the deeming rate adjustments, and the modified eligibility thresholds. Each of these components plays a vital role in determining your final payment amount. Let's examine each one carefully so you can understand exactly how your personal situation will be affected. First, let's talk about the pension rate increases themselves. From September 20th, 2025, the maximum fortnightly payment for a single age pensioner will rise by $29.70. This brings the total maximum payment to $1,178.70 per fortnight. For couples, the combined increase is $44.80 per fortnight, with each partner receiving an additional $22.40. The combined couple payment rises to $1,777 per fortnight. These increases apply to several payment categories, including the age pension, disability support pension, carer payment, and veteran payment. The indexation reflects adjustments for inflation and wage growth, ensuring that pension payments keep pace with the rising cost of living. For seniors who receive the full age pension, this represents nearly $5,000 more annually compared to pension rates from just 3 years ago. This is genuinely significant money that can help cover essential expenses like groceries, utilities, medical costs, and other household necessities. The government calculates these increases twice yearly, in March and September, using several economic benchmarks. They compare the Consumer Price Index, the Pensioner and Beneficiary Living Cost Index, and male total average weekly earnings, then apply whichever measure delivers the highest increase. This methodology ensures pensioners aren't falling behind general population living standards. The September 2025 adjustment reflects one of the more substantial indexation increases in recent years, acknowledging the persistent inflationary pressures that have impacted Australian households. However, the story doesn't end with these rate increases. The second major component of the September changes involves deeming rates, and this is where things become more complex. Deeming rates are the assumed rates of return that Centrelink applies to your financial assets when calculating your pension eligibility under the income test. Rather than examining the actual income your investments generate, the government deems that your financial assets earn a standard rate of return. For the first time since the COVID-19 pandemic began, deeming rates are increasing. The lower deeming rate, which applies to the first portion of your financial assets, rises from 0.25% to 0.75%. The higher deeming rate, which applies to assets above certain thresholds, increases from 2.25% to 2.75%. That's a half percentage point increase for both rates. For single pensioners, the lower rate applies to the first $64,200 of financial assets. For couples, it applies to the first $106,200 combined. Any financial assets above these amounts are deemed at the higher rate. While these rates are increasing, it's worth noting they remain below historical pre-pandemic averages. The government had frozen deeming rates at artificially low levels during the pandemic as an emergency measure, saving Social Security recipients approximately $1.8 billion over that period. The deeming rate increase means that Centrelink will calculate higher deemed income from your financial assets, even if your actual returns haven't changed. This increased deemed income then factors into the income test calculation. Under current rules, pension payments reduce by 50 cents for every dollar of income above the income threshold for singles, which currently sits at $218 per fortnight. For couples, the pension reduces by 25 cents each for every dollar of combined income above $380 per fortnight. Here's a practical example to illustrate the impact. If you have $100,000 in financial assets, before September 20th, those assets were deemed to produce approximately $86.54 of income per fortnight. After September 20th, that same $100,000 will be deemed to produce $105.76 per fortnight. That's an increase of $19.22 in deemed income, which translates to a pension reduction of about $9.61 per fortnight, given the 50% reduction rate. This brings us to a critical point that many seniors are asking about. Will you actually see an increase in your pension, or will the deeming rate change wipe out the indexation gains? The answer depends entirely on your individual circumstances, particularly the value of your financial assets and whether you're currently receiving a full or part pension. National Seniors Australia estimates that approximately 180,000 full-rate pensioners will transition to part-rate pensioner status as a result of the deeming rate increase. However, many of these individuals will still receive a higher overall payment than before because the indexation increase is larger than the reduction from deeming. For these pensioners, the net effect remains positive, just not as large as the full indexation amount. For the roughly 470,000 part-rate pensioners currently assessed under the income test, the situation varies considerably. Some will see a net increase in their fortnightly payment because the indexation boost exceeds the deeming reduction. Others will experience a net decrease because their deemed income increase results in a larger pension reduction than the indexation provides. The exact outcome depends on multiple factors, including your total asset value, whether you own your home, whether you have employment income, and your relationship status. The third component of the September changes involves adjustments to eligibility thresholds. The part pension cutoff limits, which determine the maximum income you can have while still receiving some age pension, are also increasing. For single pensioners, the disqualifying income limit rises to $2,575.40 per fortnight. For couples combined, it increases to $3,934 per fortnight. Additionally, the income threshold for the Commonwealth Seniors Health Card is rising. From September 20th, singles can earn up to $101,000, $105 annually, and still qualify for this valuable card. For couples, the combined income limit increases to $161,768 annually. These increases of approximately $2,000 for singles and over $3,000 for couples mean that some self-funded retirees who previously just missed out may now qualify for the Commonwealth Seniors Health Card, providing access to cheaper prescription medicines and potentially bulk-billed doctor visits. These threshold increases are significant because they extend pension eligibility to more Australians. If you previously applied for the age pension and were just over the limit, or if you've been considering applying but thought you wouldn't qualify, the September changes might alter your eligibility status. It's absolutely worth checking your position using the updated thresholds. Assets test thresholds are also adjusting. The lower asset limit, where the full age pension starts to reduce, and the upper asset limit, which represents the cutoff point for part pension eligibility, both increase in line with pension payment increases. For homeowner singles, the upper asset limit rises considerably, and similar increases apply across all categories, including homeowner couples, non-homeowner singles, and non-homeowner couples. Now, let's address what these changes mean in practical terms for different types of pensioners. If you're receiving the full age pension with minimal financial assets, you're in the best position. You'll receive the full indexation increase of $29.70 per fortnight if you're single, or $22.40 each if you're part of a couple. The deeming rate change won't significantly affect you because your financial assets are below the levels where deeming creates substantial deemed income. If you're a part-rate pensioner with moderate financial assets, your situation requires careful examination. You'll receive the indexation increase, but the deeming rate adjustment will simultaneously increase your deemed income, which reduces your pension somewhat. The net effect could be positive, neutral, or slightly negative, depending on your specific asset level. If you have financial assets substantially above the deeming thresholds, the deeming rate increase will have a more pronounced effect, and you might see little net change or even a small decrease in your overall payment despite the indexation. If you're a self-funded retiree who doesn't currently receive the age pension but has the Commonwealth Seniors Health Card, the increased income thresholds for that card are good news. You might maintain your card eligibility even with slightly higher income, continuing your access to important health concessions. And if you're approaching retirement and planning to apply for the age pension, the increased thresholds might improve your eligibility prospects. The government has emphasized that these changes aim to balance multiple objectives: maintaining adequate support for pensioners facing cost-of-living pressures, ensuring the long-term sustainability of the pension system, and gradually normalizing deeming rates as the economy recovers from pandemic disruptions. Social Services Minister Tanya Plibersek has stated that timing the deeming rate adjustment with pension indexation was deliberate, designed to cushion the impact on pensioners and avoid a sharper adjustment that could have occurred if deeming rates were changed in isolation. Looking ahead, the Australian government actuary will now take responsibility for recommending future deeming rates, providing independent expert advice to ensure rates reflect realistic investment returns available to pensioners. This represents a shift toward more transparent, evidence-based adjustments rather than politically determined rates. The government retains authority to make final decisions, including during exceptional economic circumstances, but the actuary's role should bring greater consistency to future rate setting. Pension indexation will continue occurring twice yearly, with the next adjustment scheduled for March 2026. At that time, both pension rates and various thresholds will be reviewed again based on the latest economic data. This regular review process ensures the pension system remains responsive to changing economic conditions and living costs. For seniors concerned about maximizing their pension entitlement, several strategies deserve consideration. First, If your financial circumstances have changed recently, such as a decrease in asset values or changes to your living arrangements, contact Centrelink immediately to request a reassessment. You're legally required to report increases in your assets, but you can also request reviews when assets decline, potentially increasing your pension payment. Second, understand how the work bonus affects your income test. Age pensioners can earn up to $300 per fortnight from employment without affecting their pension, and this amount accrues if you're not working up to a maximum balance of $11,800. This creates flexibility for pensioners who want to supplement their income through casual or part-time work without immediately losing pension payments. Third, consider the timing of significant financial decisions. If you're planning to sell assets, restructure investments, or make large purchases, understanding how these actions affect your pension eligibility and payment rate is crucial. Sometimes the timing of such decisions can significantly impact your pension entitlements over extended periods. Fourth, ensure your Centrelink records are current and accurate. Outdated information about your living arrangements, relationship status, or financial circumstances can result in incorrect pension calculations. Regular reviews of your details help prevent overpayments that require repayment or underpayments that shortchange your entitlements. Fifth, explore whether you qualify for additional supplements and assistance beyond the basic age pension. Commonwealth rent assistance increases are also taking effect in September, with maximum rates rising for pensioners who pay rent. The pension supplement and energy supplement for eligible pensioners provide additional fortnightly income. Understanding the full suite of available support ensures you're not leaving money on the table. It's important to recognize that while these pension changes provide welcome financial support for many seniors, advocacy groups including National Seniors Australia continue pushing for more comprehensive reforms. They argue that the age pension still doesn't provide enough for a basic standard of living, with recent research suggesting seniors need approximately $10,000 for singles or $15,000 for couples above the age pension to maintain a basic standard of living. Advocacy organizations are calling for innovations such as exempting employment income from the age pension income test to encourage workforce participation without pension penalties, creating a tiered pensioner concession card system providing higher concession rates for those with limited means, and reviewing the methodology for setting deeming rates to ensure fairness as interest rates fluctuate. These proposals reflect ongoing debates about the adequacy of retirement income support in Australia and the balance between encouraging self-funded retirement and providing a strong social safety net. The September 2025 changes represent an important step, but they're part of a continuing evolution of Australia's retirement income system. As the population ages and economic conditions change, further adjustments will inevitably follow. Staying informed about these changes and understanding how they affect your personal situation remains crucial for financial security throughout retirement. One final critical point: these changes apply automatically. You don't need to submit an application or take any action to receive the pension rate increase or have the new deeming rates applied to your account. Centrelink will implement all changes automatically for current pensioners. Your updated payment amount will appear in your account according to your normal payment schedule from September 20th onward. You can verify the changes through your MyGov account or Centrelink payment summary. However, if you believe you might now qualify for the age pension or Commonwealth Seniors Health Card due to the increased thresholds, you do need to apply. Use the updated eligibility calculators available through Services Australia or Independent Retirement Planning Services to check your potential entitlement under the new rules. If you're close to the eligibility thresholds, even small changes in the rules can make a meaningful difference to your access to pension support and valuable concession cards. For those managing the transition to retirement, professional financial advice tailored to your circumstances can prove invaluable. The interactions between superannuation, age pension eligibility, deeming calculations, and various support programs create a complex landscape where strategic decisions about timing and structuring your retirement income can significantly impact your long-term financial position. Many financial advisors specialize in retirement planning and age pension strategies, helping you optimize your approach. The September 2025 pension changes bring a genuine ray of hope for Australian seniors navigating persistent cost-of-living challenges. With pension rates rising by up to $29.70 per fortnight for singles and higher thresholds opening eligibility to more retirees, many pensioners will experience meaningful financial relief. However, the complexity of these changes, particularly the interplay between pension indexation and deeming rate adjustments, means understanding your personal situation is more important than ever. The key takeaway is this: stay informed, verify your eligibility under the new rules, keep your Centrelink details current, and don't hesitate to seek clarification from Services Australia or professional advisors when needed. These changes take effect automatically from September 20th, but the actions you take now to understand and optimize your position will influence your financial comfort throughout retirement. If you found this breakdown helpful, please hit that like button and subscribe to stay updated on future changes affecting Australian seniors. Your retirement security matters, and I'm here to help you navigate every step of this journey. Thank you for watching, and here's to a more financially secure retirement for all Australian seniors.